everybody, welcome to another Toy of the Day here on Kastor'sCorner.com. I'm your host Khalil here on our live YouTube channel. So happy that you can join us. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you've been seeing. You can also check out a full gallery of this figure on Kastor'sCorner.com, and you can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. And you can check out the Cornercast podcast this week with our friend Dan, who reviews up on Apple Podcasts. You could subscribe to that as well. So now that all the plugs are out of the way, and you saw me struggle immensely with Rhinox last night, like I said, I didn't have somebody transform it for me. But anyway, so tonight we're going to do a review of another new Transformer. So you might see me struggle again. And this one comes to us from the Target store and is made by Hasbro. And it came from Junior. So thank you, Junior, for buying this for us. Even though I will pay you back for it. This Transformer can transform in 33 steps. And here he is in all his canon glory. So we finally get a properly sized, a properly articulated, well done Galvatron. Nice big cannon. He's got I will say, you know what, the underside here, this section right here, it just doesn't like fall right. You can see how like one sticks out, and if you put one down, it lays on the other one. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there, to be honest with you, but it doesn't really matter. It's on the underside. The legs do spread a little bit when you try to position it sitting. I guess I'll use Rhinox's box. So they do start to spread out a little bit more. If you're not careful, they're beveled so they kind of twist out to the side, so you can spread out the arms there that turn into the legs, and then the back end here works flush, works really well, no problem. His cannon detaches. This is actually, you'll see the handle, and he is wearing the Matrix of Leadership down there. So I think overall it's a really good toy. It really matches the counterpart. Now here's the thing, the counterpart in the 80s was like simple, like push the legs up into the body, put the arms up, fold down the head, and stick his cannon on his head. Like, it was a really simple looking, very streamlined, almost those toys. I always call them coffin box toys. The Ultra Heroes or whatever, the $10 cheap ones with very limited articulation. I mean, the old Galvatron almost looked just like that. So this one has a little more detail to him. He's got two side cannons on the side of the major cannon. It's a really good addition. And I would love to just be like magic as my chair falls down. Magic. I don't have a magic box. Maybe someday I'll have a magic box that I can put this in, and then it comes back as Galvatron, but it doesn't. So I'll transform him. So Matrix of Leadership comes off. The two side pieces as well come off. The handle for the cannon comes off. The cannon itself pops off, and that will go into our handle. So this will attach to the side of his arm because he's Megatron, so he's got to have a gun on his, or a blaster on his arm. So legs fold down like that. Let's see. Arms fold out. They detach there. This flips up to open up that piece. His legs are down here. These flip out to be his arms. TJ said this was intuitive. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I struggle with this one. That piece, I know, I'm frantic. I'm all over the place because I'm trying to see it and show you at the same time, and it's never that easy. So I remember growing up, and I was not allowed to get the original Megatron. He was a gun, and my mom had a very strict no gun rule for toys. So Megatron was not going to be part of my collection in any way, shape, or form. So I knew that going in, which was fine. Like I didn't miss him. I kind of missed the boat anyway because by the time I got into Transformers, Megatron was not on shelves, to be honest with you. So the two arms flip up here. But then we saw Transformers the movie, and we found out that Megatron turned into Galvatron. Now, here's the major difference between the two. Galvatron is technically not a gun, right? He is a cannon. So the arms flip down. And him being a cannon meant he wasn't a pistol. And so does that mean that Khalil can have him? So they fold that down. So I was with my aunt, I was with Tita, and we were at the Milford, Connecticut Toys R Us. My Toys R Us. First one I ever went to, the one I went to the most. Arms are folded out like that. You can also flip the arms around and get a tighter to the body. I think they work either way. I haven't seen a really big difference in the differences there with them. So I'm with Tita, and she says to me, I say, oh, look, it's Galvatron. And she's giving me like these coupons for Christmas. And they were legit gift certificates. That meant I could get toys somewhere. And so I had a $50 gift certificate, and Galvatron was $49.99, I believe. And it was after Transformers the movie, and I really, really wanted it. And there he is in all his glories. Not as hard as we saw yesterday. So we've got the cannon on his arm. There's two spots that you can put it in. You can put it lower or higher. I think it just matters on kind of what you want to do and how you want to have him displayed. I like to fold these out a little bit, to be honest with you. It just gives at least when you're posing him, it gives a little bit better space. There we go. Clicks in. So there he is. And then you can have him wear... So anyway. Get distracted. So Tita's looking at the thing, and I go, well, it's Megatron. I was like, actually, it's Galvatron. And she goes, well, you can't get Megatron. And I said, well, this isn't Megatron, it's Galvatron. And she goes, well, he looks like a gun. I go, he's actually a cannon. And Mom never said I couldn't have a cannon. So she thought for a second, and then we walked up front, and we got Galvatron. And I came home with him, and I couldn't have been happier because I really like the new class of heroes and villains that came out of the movie. So he can wear the Matrix of Leadership around his neck. Now, so he can wear it like that. It is able to slot into his chest like that. The only problem is you can see how high up it runs on his neck. So it depends on kind of, do you want it stable or do you want it around his neck? So you have to make a decision there. And then you can take the two cans that were on the side and they peg into each other there. Slot in right there. And he can have another weapon. Which, I mean, honestly, I can leave or take. Supposedly, if I saw it correctly in the instructions, which are right here, they also work as kind of towers on his back. So they can slot into his back, as you can see. I don't really see a need to have him like that. And for those of you wondering, size-wise, how he kind of measures up against the other Decepticons of the time. So here he is next to Scourge. So you can see Galvatron is taller. He's bigger. Here he is with Cyclonus, and we'll have a full gallery of them standing next to each other, back to back. Galvatron is indeed bigger. Here he is next to Prime. Straighten out his legs. So he is definitely bigger than Prime, which I'm okay with. Again, I'm kind of curious to see how he looks next to Rodimus. And here he is next to Hot Rod, which he just towers over Hot Rod. So, I mean, if you think about it, this was a leader class figure. This is a leader class figure. There is a clear difference in size and scale right here like this. And so I'm okay with this because this Optimus is in scale with all the other Autobots and Decepticons that came before it, Galvatron was kind of larger. He was bigger. He was one of the big boys. So it's nice to see him give him some heft and size. Drawbacks, I don't really think there are any. I think this is one of the best figures that they've done so far. Honestly, I like the first Galvatron they did in the Generations line. It was way too small, and it just kept falling apart. Like every time you tried to move a joint or whatever on here, which was horrible. He looked okay. I think I still have him somewhere downstairs. And then they did him in the Titans Return line with the Headmaster. Pops in, but the crown part of his head was a separate piece that kind of flipped in and attached to his face. And then you couldn't turn his head because that piece flipped down or flipped up. And there was no way to rotate that. So if he looked sideways, he would, like, his face would be in a mask. So imagine if, you turn your head, but everything in front of your face stays put. It just looked awkward. So they have finally, Takara Tomy and Hasbro have finally figured out how to make Galvatron look really cool. Thrilled that we're finishing up the 86 movie, or we're delving into it. It's been great. And I really can't wait for the rest of them. I can't wait for Scorponok, and I can't wait to get the Ark. The Ark is going to be a lot of fun. So there he is, Galvatron, in all of his glory. You can check out a full gallery of Galvatron transformed and in his bot mode on CastorsCorner.com, along with all the other archive of our past videos. You can follow us. We are at Castors Corner on all social media. And you can check out the Cornercast podcast this week with Dan Who Reviews from the UK, which was a great conversation about collecting and how you display your stuff, which is just great to have the conversation. And hit that subscribe button somewhere at the bottom of this video or on the side of the video somewhere here. Hit that subscribe button, because honestly, the more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and then we get to share them with you. And it's been so much fun to watch this grow and kind of change, and just thrilled to kind of continue, even though I'm starting to run out of toys. But I'll start pulling from the retro pile, the beginnings pile, and I'll keep buying new toys. I've got a giant box coming soon, so join us tomorrow for another toy of the day. Thank you guys for watching. Join us tomorrow for another toy of the day here on CastorsCorner.com. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.